Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk. What's up? Big Herc 916, getting down with another fresh out Prison Talk. Now, unless you've been under a rock and had your phone turned off, you know that there's protests and rioting going on in downtown Los Angeles. And the protests were sparked by the ICE raids. So a lot of people don't agree with the immigration policies and the fact that people have to leave if they're not here legally. Now, if you go and look at travel policies in any other country, Thailand, Japan, Dubai, Morocco, various other countries, you just go through and start naming them. Look at what they require to visit and look at the penalties if you overstay your visit. Try to enter illegally and find out. Plain and simple. I know California is a sanctuary state, so a lot of people flooded California. Free medical, free housing, a lot of fraud going on, handouts, all these different things. And this is what you have, but that's not even the underlining for this right here. I look at this as paid agent provocateurs. See, LA was already dealing with the fire situation, the homeless situation. And they're due to have the Olympics coming up, and I believe the World Cup for soccer. So they've got to clean house. They got to make it look like they really give a damn. And what better way than to set a bunch of people up to get robbed as far as of their freedoms, because downtown has more surveillance than anywhere else in Los Angeles. Cameras everywhere, the federal buildings, the streets, random crosswalks. So all these people talking about they're not doing violent protests, but they're chucking rocks, chucking boulders, breaking into stuff. They think they got their face covered up. Bro, they're just running a psyop right now. They're testing all their new facial recognition technology, which they've been had. So you guys are going down. School's out. You're on break. Whatever you're doing, you should be working or hanging out at the beach, doing anything else. But you're down there destroying shit, looting, breaking into people's businesses, filming. Some of you guys just hanging out. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to hang out there, but bad look, man. Bad look. And to see these guys passing out masks and people instigating stuff, and see a lot of people just follow. They see somebody throw a rock, they throw a rock. They see somebody break in there and steal, they break in there and steal. They're not even thinking, and you think because you go home, you didn't get caught that day. Dude, it might be a year, 2 years later. You're done. And what you're doing is basically inhibiting federal law enforcement from doing their job. So you're not going to the state. You're going to the feds, and there's no good time. It's just 85%. And you're going to be looking at crazy numbers. You're going to be locked down. You're going down. This is a setup. So I'm looking at this article right here, Washington Examiner, and it says this is what kicked off the immigration riots, right? Federal immigration authorities executed criminal arrest warrants at Los Angeles business suspected of money laundering and customs fraud prior to downtown protests that turned fiery and stretched into the weekend, according to the Department of Homeland Security, right? The fashion district wasn't an immigration raid, Holman told MSNBC Monday morning. It was a service of 3 criminal warrants at locations based on large criminal conspiracy that has to do with money laundering, tax evasion, customs fraud for a company that has underdeclared over 80 million in goods, failed to pay 17 million in fees. They believe that some of the money is being laundered to Mexico to fund the cartel. And so people are down there tearing up shit because of this. This is what kicked it off, right? A number of those arrested while serving the warrant have been identified as illegal immigrants. Some of the illegal immigrants have been described as having serious criminal histories, including criminal history that the DHS provided for the following 11 people, just a portion of the total arrest. ICE arrested Cuong Con Phan, a Vietnamese national convicted of second-degree murder who was sentenced to 15 years of life in prison in connection with killings of 2 teenagers at a high school graduation party in 1994. Fan 49 and other alleged gang members were asked to leave the party following a dispute and return with semi-automatic weapons, opened fire on attendees, killing Dennis Bond, 18, and David Hang, 15. Filipino national Roland Bernacion Enriquez had a long rap sheet for sexual assault offenses. The 55-year-old was convicted of burglary in Ontario, Canada, and sexually penetration with a foreign object, was forced and assault with intent to commit rape in Pomona, California. Lionel Sanchez Laguna of Mexico was previously convicted of discharging a firearm at an inhabitant dwelling and a vehicle discharging a firearm at an inhabited dwelling and vehicle in Orange, California, battery on spouse or cohabitant, willful cruelty to a child, driving under the influence, and assault with a semi-automatic firearm. Armando Ardez, 44, was previously convicted of sexual battery in Los Angeles, receiving known or stolen property and petty theft. Ardez is from Mexico. Mexican national Francisco Sanchez Arguella, 38, was arrested on charges of grand theft, larceny, and possession of a prohibited weapon. Defino Arguella Martinez of Mexico was sent to jail with a conviction of assault and a deadly weapon with great bodily injury in Los Angeles. The 51-year-old was sentenced to 1 year jail time. Another Mexican citizen, Victor Mendoza Arguella, was convicted of possession of unlawful paraphernalia, possession of controlled substance, assault with a deadly weapon, and obstructing a public officer in Pasadena, California. The 30-year-old man was sentenced to nearly a year in prison. Jose Gregoria Medrano Ortiz of Ecuador has a criminal history that includes conspiracy of possess with intent to distribute 5 kilograms or more of cocaine while on board a vessel out of Tampa, Florida. The 40-year-old was sentenced to 11 years in prison. Jose Cristobal Hernandez Butuan, a 43-year-old man from Peru, was sentenced to 10 years in prison for robbery. Jordan Marcio Meza Esquible is a 30-year-old from Honduras who was arrested for distribution of heroin and cocaine as well as domestic violence. Mexican citizen Jesus Alan Hernandez Morales, 26, received 239 days in jail for attempting to smuggle an illegal immigrant in Las Cruces, New Mexico. So that's a handful of the arrests made during the ICE raid. And this is what people are riding over. Look, man, I'm not here to preach to you guys. You make your own choices, your own decisions. There's countries I can't go to because of my record. I'm no angel, but I'm from America. I'm in America. If I was in any other country, hey, man, I would have to deal with not being able to enter or trying to get a visa, but that would be that. I don't make any qualms about my past and my behavior. I made a lot of mistakes and I own up for them, but I'm not living somewhere illegally right now. And there's consequences to your actions, man. I have to deal with a lot of people judging me on my past. I have to deal with when I go to fill out certain things, they want to ask me if I've ever been convicted. What was I convicted of? I got to tell people, man, because they're going to Google and find out anyways. So this is a reality. But to be burning down shit, tearing up shit, waving flags from other countries. Have you ever seen anybody in another country waving their country, their from's flag in that country, burning up shit, but they want to stay in the country they're in? Does that make sense? You tell me. You're down in Poland. You're rioting, burning up shit, but you got you got an American flag. Man, they will get you the hell up out of there. You'll go home. You're not staying in Poland. You're not staying in Hungary waving that flag. You're getting the hell out. What, you're here and you don't like it? Go. Man, come on, man. Where's the basis for all this? And you can point the finger. We can always say, oh man, the enemies, oh, these people, blah, blah, blah. We're okay, there's a lot of enemies. There's a lot of, we know that this is the big game, but to fall into the game and get played like this, and they got you all huddled into one area. This is an old prison. It's like one prison yard. They got you on 1 yard, and all they got to do is block out the perimeter. And then they start checking IDs before you leave, and they find out who was involved in what. And they just run a facial recognition thing. Pull your mask down. Oh, you were over here. They got you breaking into the Jordan store. Oh, they got you looting the pharmacy over here. They got you doing, that's what they do in prison. When you leave the yard, they check your hands and knuckles. They check all this stuff, see if you have any marks on you. This is a prison tactic. You guys fell for it. This is isolated. And when they do stuff like this, they'll put you in places where they could corral you and basically lock your ass up. It ain't about the ice, right? Man, look, if you've been over here long enough, you should have filled out the paperwork. I know a bunch of people who've done it. I know people who filled out the paperwork, had to go take the test, all this stuff. They're not down there. They're not trying to lose their visas, man. They're not down there burning up shit. They're not down there filming. They're at home with their families, working. I understand some people over here came over here to work, find a better life. Cool, man. I understand that, man. But with anything, there's ways to do stuff, and there's ways not to do stuff. Spitting on the flag, burning the flag, doing all this other stuff. I don't understand that part of the game, man. I don't get it. Throwing rocks at police cars, ice vehicles, the border patrol. Dude, do you know what kind of charges you're looking at? Football numbers. Not no 2-3 years, 200 something days. Dude, you're looking at possibly 100 something months. You guys aren't thinking, man. You aren't thinking. You're talking about America, but this is not how you go about doing it. And then, like I said, you're protesting for the guys I just talked about who, dude, if you have a criminal record, I can't go get citizenship in other countries. I can't move there. I accept that. They got to accept it and get the hell out. They got to accept it. You're ex-felon, get the hell out. Just like I can't go and become a citizen of certain places because my record, then, hey, man, I got to accept that. I can't get mad at the country. They got rules and policies, man. You had a good run. Time to go. But this right here, paid agent provocateurs with expensive gas masks being passed out, hammers to break up stuff, destroying property, all those are serious charges, and they're all federal. Trying to breach the ICE holding facility, that's all federal. You guys are going down. You college students, you guys thinking you're on break, having fun, all this stuff, man. You guys, and you're talking about a response to an action. What do you think when you're throwing rocks and you're down there and people are burning stuff? What do you think the response is going to be to that? That's a riot. You've been in a riot, man. A riot, man. They're shooting rubber bullets, tear gas. They're gassing you, bro. You're talking about a riot, a war zone. You not see the big picture, man? You get all emotional. Oh, these guys, dude. That guy doesn't even know you. He's just doing his job. You guys are destroying property. That's not legal to destroy property. You can't just go break into people's buildings and think nothing's gonna happen. Come on, man. You guys aren't thinking. You guys aren't thinking. The only guy I seen, he stopped them from breaking in. The guy's like, man, why are you guys looting this guy's building? And the guy was trying to hold his door shut. But all these other people just tearing up shit, man, for what? Dude, that's not gonna solve anything. And then, like I said, you're protecting these guys? Come on, man. Leave a comment, share the channel. Let me know what you guys think. I feel like I said, they're cleaning up the city before they get ready for this Olympics. It's already, who knows how many millions of dollars, of billions worth of damage, destroyed property, man. Hot mess, man. But this is like I said, I believe it's a bigger psyop because they brought in some people who are professional riders. They're doxing, throwing papers on the ground. This is organized, bro. Beyond just the average, person running around filming and acting stupid. Share the channel, leave a comment. Fresh Out Prison Talk.